So much evil in this world, I sit back like, why bother? But get a different view every time that I call dollar. It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always speaking facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. Then the crime raises. It's something they never gonna get that. But it's cool, let's sit back. Chit chat, unveiled mindset.
You gotta be stoic, you can't be frail. If you get on the track, you can't derail. If you stick around long enough,
you will surely be unveiled.
Welcome everybody to another Unveiled episode hosted by me, Dr. Khan, and my lovely wife, Numsokaba.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Unveiled Mindset podcast, where we have enlightening and purposeful conversations that help to nurture growth and unveil the mind. We kind of took like a little small mini fall break, but we are back with this episode, and we have a couple more episodes to go, and that will be a wrap for this season. Make sure you guys subscribe down below, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you follow us on all social media platform, Unveiled Mindset, and you can also listen to us while you're on the go on Apple Podcasts and all your other audio podcast platforms.
Well, that was well said. So let's just start the episode. Okay,
so today we have a series of questions, so more so reflection questions, and then a couple other random questions. But let's get started. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess the first thing is more so like just a general. Do you feel like you've ever caved into peer pressure?
I would say yes. I think everybody has been in that position at least once or twice.
Yeah.
But later on, you reflect and you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, peer pressure is very, very like prevalent in our society, because especially when you're younger, you know, you don't know much, you don't know better. So you see your friends doing a lot of stuff, or you see a group of people doing stuff and they look like they're having fun. And if you don't join it, look like you're the uncool kid or uncool person. So therefore, you just hop in and just jump in and join the shenanigans. But yeah, so peer pressure, I definitely got to me before in the past.
What about as an adult? Or even more, what about within the last 2 years?
No, not even the last. I would say not in the last. God knows how long. I'll probably say 6 years. 6 years. Even as an adult, you deal with peer pressure. Things happen. Sometimes subconsciously you do things, and then later on, and realize that that wasn't really my decision. That wasn't really my intention. That wasn't really my decision. I just kind of went along with whatever was going on at the time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, as an adult, not much, but peer pressure is definitely something that can get derail a lot of people, if you're not careful. Yeah.
Okay.
So what about you?
I think my answer is similar to yours. In the past, when you're young, when you're growing up, you know, there are certain things that you may do because of other people around you are doing. I still think that I was pretty stern in my decisions, but I do think that especially adolescent years, there definitely are things that you do, or you think, or whatever the case may be, because of your surroundings. And honestly, even as an adult, I feel and that's why they say the people that you carry around you, or not carry around you, but the people that you have around you make a huge difference and whatnot, because if you continue to have a whole bunch of people, or everyone around you continues to have a specific type of mindset that's detrimental to progress and to growth, etc., then it can impact you overall. And with subconsciously, like you said, not even realizing that you're doing something because of that surrounding. So
yeah, I agree. I agree. So what's the next question?
How do you define happiness, and have you found it?
I don't I don't even know how to explain that. I mean, give an answer to that. Like, how do you find happiness?
Define.
How do I define happiness?
And have you found it?
How would I define happiness?
Yep. What does happiness mean to you?
I think happiness is like, the way I look at happiness is probably different from what other people, well, maybe some people might agree. Like, it's not what other people do for you. I think for me, it's what you do for other people, and how they react to your action, meaning like positive actions. Basically, like how you make other feel. For me, bring me happiness. That's how I define happiness. It's me caring and also helping the people that I love around me. If they're happy, or if they're satisfied, or if they're in a better position, then that make me happy. That's how I define my happiness.
Yeah. You know how they say there's like what is it called? Different types of ways you love, and there's one that's like act of service or something like that. It's interesting because that's what it kind of sounds like, is like act of service and things like that is what really like rings your bell and makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
So it's basically when you make other people feel happy, you feel happy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. It's the feedback that I get from other people.
So then that almost seems like, I guess to the second question, have you found it? Like, do you feel like with the happiness being relied heavily on the feedback that comes back from like what you put in, do you feel like that's too heavy of a rely on others? Like, no. Without others or without that feedback, would you still be happy if that's what makes you happy? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Like, people be like, make sure you're happy first. Make sure you're satisfied. Make sure you're okay with yourself. Like, a lot of time it's like, we need each other. Like to me, everything is predicated on each other. We bounce off each other. Pause. Like, if I always say this, if I was the only person on earth, I wouldn't want to be here. Mm-hmm. Right? So to me, it's like, it's others that make me happy. And I believe for other people, it's like that too. Like, a mother happiness a lot of time is how well they're, well, at least in my perspective and through my experience, my mother happiness is how well we're doing and how well she raised us brings her happiness. Mm-hmm. Now for me, in return, is being a good kid and also representing myself well, because that means I'm also representing my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sisters. So in that way, like, me being a good kid make her happy, and what makes me happy is to make sure she's happy by doing things that makes her happy. So to me, there's no such thing as make sure you're happy first, and like then and then it has to be like it's an energy that's being reciprocated. Vice versa. To me, that's how happiness is intertwined. It's like a mixed energy and frequency, just mixing together. For me. Yeah. It doesn't have to be for everybody, but for me, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, my mother being happy bring me happiness. My brother being happy bring me happiness. My friends being happy bring me happiness. My wife being happy bring me happiness. Goku being my dog, being like seeing my dog jumping around doing this, like, bring me happiness. Because what else is there? Like, how can I make sure I'm happy first? Mm-hmm. Like, then what's the component of me being happy first? What is that? Just think about it.
I mean, I think it can be a wide range of things. Like, for me, I do agree that, like, other people's feelings, like, happiness towards me makes me happy and brings me joy. But I would say other things that I selfishly care about, and that selfishly, like, makes me happy outside of like that person's reaction. So for example, spending time with loved ones, right? Like that brings me happiness, but the happiness doesn't derive from them being happy that I'm spending time with them. It derives from like my selfish want to spend time with them, if that makes sense. Like or like achieving my goals, right? Like, or achieving something that I set myself up to. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I worked so hard for this and stuff like that. Like, I'm so happy I was able to achieve this. So like, almost like for me, it's not selfish things, but like when I say selfish, I mean, it's not received, like a received emotion from someone else, you know? Like, for example, we could be hanging out, watching TV or you know, spending quality time together, or whenever we go to Connecticut and stuff, spending quality time together. That's probably a bad example because that you can tell like my parents are happy to see us there, right? But let's say it's like they're nonchalant, right? Like, let's say I'm hanging out with like my niece and nephews or whatever. That can bring me happiness, even though like it may not, like they may just be chilling on the couch. Like I don't really get like I'm not receiving like a feedback from them, like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy to see you. No. But like the peacefulness of it and like brings me joy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, basically you're kind of like, you're technically talking about the steps that you had, the things that you do for yourself, right? That would make other happy, therefore you're happy. Because you're talking about your goals, right? Who you accomplishing your goals for? Is it simply for you?
Some of them, yes.
Simply
Most
for you?
of them are, yes.
Okay, and then, but you still, like, with your accolades, with nobody saying, that, oh my God, my girl, you did that, like, oh, like, that's my daughter. Or somebody saying, oh, your friends come, oh, she's so smart. Without those praise, your goal doesn't mean anything.
I don't think so.
I promise you.
For me, I don't think so, because there have been things that I have set, like for example, for my parents, there are things that that certain goals and certain things that they're aware of that if I achieve, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy, right? There are other things and other goals that like they may not even be aware of. There are other goals and things.
Yeah, but
that,
it doesn't
like,
have to
even
always
if it's
be
not
your
my
parent.
friends. Like there are certain goals that I think I've achieved in the past.
Like what?
That like. So what'd you say?
Like what? Like give me an example of
like
a goal.
It could be something personal. Like let's say I'm doing let's say I'm working, right? In the past, and it can be kind of a personal goal of, you know what, I want to make sure that I'm able to efficiently read through this and this and this so that I can get better at faster at XYZ blah blah blah. There can be no one else, like it can be simply like between me and my mind and like my journal. And no one else in the exterior world knows that like I have set this goal for myself and I can achieve it. And then I'm like, you know, oh, I'm going to go out and give myself ice cream because like I worked hard and I did this, etc. But like that can happen without me letting anyone know about the goal and anyone know about the accomplishment of the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes.
What goals or goal that you have accomplished that you didn't care to share with anybody?
I think there have been plenty of like work related, like how I work, how I learn, how I like certain things like that I didn't feel the need to like. I feel like even if I shared it with someone, like they may not even understand what it means to me, you know?
So let's break that down. There's things that you accomplish that's like, okay, your parents are going to be happy about it, they're going to know about it.
Yeah.
There's things that you can accomplish simply work related, and you know that the people on the upper level is going to be like, oh yeah, she's doing a phenomenal job.
Yep.
And you know that they know that and that resonate with the company well. That's going to bring you happiness because you say, oh, I'm in a great position. They probably going to give me a what you want to call a raise or probably give me a better position. So to me, like whatever you do, like for example, like even like the diet we did, that's a goal. We didn't have to share with anybody, but we did. Like, oh wow, that's you got to be disciplined enough, right? Or like, I want to lose 5 pounds, and when you lose 5 pounds, oh my God, either you go on Instagram or you talk about it with your friend. It don't have to be big public, but you talk about it to somebody. Like, oh my God, like, you know, I did this, I did that. And somebody be like, oh wow, that's great. It's like all that. So to me, they always relate to a person. Like it always relate to. It can be a family member, whether it's work related. It's somebody there that sees what you're accomplishing, or sometimes you don't even have to say it. I see it through your work.
Yeah, I still don't, and that's for me, I still don't necessarily think that's the case. There are goals that, the same way as the parents, there are goals that like the partner, people that I work with and stuff will know, okay, here are the things that you're working on, here's your thing that you're doing, etc. But there are so many things that I have done at work that, like, to me, it's not big enough to like alert or say or tell or whatever to any of, like, for them to even, like, there are a ton of things that I do that I feel proud of that my direct manager has no clue that I've done, right? And if I can sit there and run her a list of, I did da da da.
No, you don't have to say. That's what I was saying. Sometimes it can be a silent, like, it doesn't have to be talked about. I can do something for the purpose of something without knowing, letting the entity or the person know, like, be aware of the things that I done silently. But eventually, the work doesn't always, the hard work usually doesn't, like, I'll go in the gym and put in the work and I'll come and perform. Like, people didn't see the work I put in the gym. I don't need to come and say, I did this, right? But the work would show. That's all I'm just saying. Like even if you're doing a little chop up, even if you do a little work in between,
because you're gonna get better naturally,
because eventually it's gonna be like, there's an improvement. Like, they don't have to be there day to day with you to see it, but there's an improvement, and you're doing it for that cause.
And that's the part that I disagree with. So I agree that there's an improvement and stuff. The part that I disagree is, like, for me, my happiness, like, I don't even care enough about like I'm not doing it for them, like. And
not for them, for that cause. Like, it doesn't. Yeah. That's why I say either entity or a person, because the reason why I said that. Okay, like.
What do you mean entity?
Like,
expand on that.
So it could be like, for example, like you're working for a company, right? There's a person that's like way above you that probably doesn't even know your name, right? And then there's somebody under them and under them and under them, and then if they see this person they will see everybody work improvement, or this person excel way more than other people. Right? And they don't have to say, like, you don't have to come to them like, yo, man, I did this, I did that. They're going to be like, oh my God, that's great. And then you're happy about it. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you did this, did that, did that. Because it's going to lead to a bigger picture, right? And a boost into whatever you're doing. Then it's going to make you stand out. Because it's going to make you stand out in front of ahead of everybody. So therefore, you're going to be that entity, right, or the person above, whoever, gonna be like, I don't know this person or whatever. I don't even care to say, a good job, but give her that position. She deserves it. She has the accolades. She has done the work, right? So in the back of your head, me putting in these small amount of work or these silent goals that I'm doing that nobody would know is for a bigger picture or a bigger cause that later on I'm gonna be rewarded for. So, like, it's different ways to go about it. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's like everything is related to like this one big source, and it's a person behind it. That if they recognize your hard work, right, you gotta be happy, feel happy about it, because you know the work that you put in.
But would you be happy well before that recognition? Because my point is I would be happy well before that recognition. Therefore, my happiness is not sourcing or stemmed from a recognition. It's sourcing from my own personal, like, yes, I did this. If it's recognized, great. If it's not, yes, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like even if they don't recognize it, to me, 5 months ago, I was already happy about whatever it was.
If you okay, let's just say they didn't recognize, because to me it's like, if you put in the time and work to do something. You're trying to improve on something, right? You're trying to better something. Why?
It could be for a wide range of things. Like, I could download an app that teaches me how to read faster. Okay. That, right? Something like that. Okay. And I could do that and not say anything to anyone about it.
And it does, again, I say it doesn't have to be somebody. They don't even have to know it.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have to know it.
And let's say, like, with the app, I'm able to, like, double, triple, quadruple my speed. And I'm like happy about it. Like, oh my goodness, this is great. Yes, inherently, that may impact like work or like, other things of my life because I can read faster and more efficiently. But like, my happiness came from me achieving that. anything else can come afterwards because of like a ripple effect of that being great.
I guess we can just kind of like agree to disagree. To me, happiness, to me, it's always like a relation. It doesn't matter whether it can be the tiniest thing. It always relate to something. It always relate to, like, we're human. Our nature is we live off, we feed off like recognition and feedback. Like, to me, happiness is feedback. Like,
I have a question.
Positive feedback.
In that example of like the app, right? Like if you download an app and then you're able to like beat your goals and of those like super speed readers, right? And you're able to get through, and then let's say in however long that you set for yourself, you got to it. Would that make you happy that you like accomplished that? And then where is the source of that happiness? What is that interfeedback that you're,
if I'm trying to do that
side?
is because the source of the happiness, meaning like who is gonna be the person that's gonna recognize that happiness. Oh yeah, like, again, we're probably gonna I'm gonna share it with you, or you're gonna share it with me. And then when I do stuff like that or whatever, if I share it with you, oh my God, that's great, this and that, wow, that's, you really improved, that's gonna make me happy, vice versa.
So then if you're around,
so many people around you that I don't care to say that to like the outsiders, but I would care to say it to you. And then if you go like, oh my God, like you, I'm like, damn, okay, like connecting the 3 monitors, like I didn't care for, like, you know, when I did the 3 monitors, like I didn't do that for the world, but when you was like, oh my God, like that was like a feedback. Same thing, like, but it's like, it's always, even if it's the tiniest thing, it's somebody there that is gonna, like, that's why I'm like, I don't really think there's a such thing as like, well, there's secrets, but most things are shared. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's always gonna be like, soon as you go home, be like, yo, Dad, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. Every single, even if it's the tiniest thing, I've been doing my diet, or I've been doing this. Hey, yo, guys, boom, boom, boom. It's always gonna be shared. So it's like, whether you're saying that, yo, I got up to catch the bus early to go to work, I did that, like, or whatever the case may be, right? I took 1,000 steps, this and that. Yes, you doing that. Also, you know, like, if you get slimmer, or the goals that you're trying to get to, and once you get there, somebody's like, oh my God, look like you lost weight. Positive feedback, happiness. Oh my God, yeah, I've been working, I've been doing this. Wow, you doing it. Wow, you doing a really good job. You're very disciplined. Happiness. It's all, to me, it's like, it's happiness to me is feedback.
Do you feel like there are people in the world that do not have the support and the community around them like how you do? Like, do you feel like there are people in the world where, oh look, I did this, so Nick, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't.
They're miserable.
I don't give
they're
a
miserable.
F. Or other people, you know, they well, number one, they may not have a large family, right? It may just be them, and maybe they have like one or two friends or one or two acquaintances, and then like whoever those acquaintances are just aren't really like, oh, I did this. Okay, so like, so then, you know, that saying of what you were just saying, when people are like, okay, try to find happiness yourself and outside of people. Like in that case, I feel like it's important for that person to do it for you, and like do what makes you happy for you, and not wait until you're getting that feedback from people. Because if the feedback isn't there for that person that doesn't have that village around them, then it'll be a like, it almost be like, oh,
those people are usually miserable though. If you, again, happiness is feedback. If you're not getting any feedback from the things that you're doing, or whatever the case may be, because the happiness is, I mean, positive feedback, not negative, right? And that's what it is. So like, those people are sometimes miserable. And again, you can, let's say you don't have a big family, right? You don't have a village, and then let's say you just a person that just know how to dress nice, or a person that just go to the gym and look ripped or whatever. No, your village might be that gym. Wow, dude, you're ripped. Thank you. Right? Or like, wow, you dress nice. Wow, thank you. That's very positive feedback. It doesn't only have to be from your family or close friends. The whole world, the feedback that you get from the world,
I was giving an
to me, is what it is. Because, like, again, like, people be like, yo, I don't do stuff for nobody, I do it for myself. Cap. That's a lie.
Yeah, I think that's just where I think and that's why the question is, what does happiness mean for you? Because what happiness means for you is not, I personally don't believe is a universal definition, because I think people find that happiness in different ways.
Yeah,
and
there you go. There's different ways to get to happiness.
Yeah.
But why, like you can get, it's an emotion. It's like a roller coaster emotion. However you get there, you're gonna get there. But what I'm saying,
like, when I ate that, I got happy.
Okay.
And
bro, we're talking about, like, come on, son, it's not the same thing we're talking about. You telling me like one of the components of happiness is I ate
eating
that,
your favorite food,
and it's like, all right, bro, like, come on, son.
You don't think so?
And I know that y'all was talking about this. Oh my God, bro, you remember the tres leches? Like, you can wait for everybody to try this, and then when they say, oh my God, it's great.
Yep.
You got that positive feedback. So anyway, like I was saying, like people be like, I don't think it's universal in that way. What I'm saying is like different ways to get to, but there's always that component. It's the feedback. I don't care what it is. I don't care what you can explain. But it's always the positive feedback. I'm telling you.
You mean for you, or like that's
for everybody?
Your universal definition.
Universal definition of happiness is positive feedback.
Okay.
Like, I do not believe that, people, I don't do it for nobody. I just do it for myself. We had this conversation before. Me, when I get dressed, I put it on for myself. Or when I do this, I put it on for myself. Like, and then, okay, you're right. So when people are insecure about something, why do you hide it? I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about in general. Like, when people are insecure, what about, like, if you don't care what people, like, you don't do it for nobody, or you don't care how people, like, hey, it's you. I'm happy with who I am. Like, people always hide it. Insecurity.
I feel like those are apples and oranges, because we're talking about just what makes you happy. I can be happy and have insecurities or anxiety, or whatever.
You can kind of make a connection there, like imperfection and people being insecure with happiness. Now, what I was saying, that I went from just like the definition of happiness. Now I was talking about in terms of like, because you were talking about like making it personal, like personal to oneself. I was saying, with that being said, like people always also say that, like, I don't do it for nobody, because I'm just talking about personalizing it. Like, it's for me and this and that. I don't dress for nobody. I don't put this on for nobody. And I'll call cap on all of that, because again, like the world, like to me, it's the people that make the world go. Everything we do on this earth, happiness, like being miserable, angry, getting rich, getting paid, whatever it is you can't do none of that without the people in the world. Like, it's the people in the world. Like, that's it. That's what I think. A lot of people that usually have like a strong family support, I think usually are better off than people that don't. Like, when you have more, when you have like when you have like a big family around you, they're also like, I'm not saying they're all like, good people, good family. Like, usually you have more of a support, so you have like people show that you can lean on or stand on. But everything relates to people, the world. That's what it is, the world. Because if that's the case, like that, I do it for myself or it's for me or whatever, kind of just going away from happiness a little bit, which still can be connected to this. It's like, then go to a new planet and just do it for yourself.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking about the days where, like, I wake up, I'm watching my favorite show, I'm laughing, I'm enjoying, like, it's a good feeling, like, I'm eating my favorite food, like, in my room, and then something like that can bring me happy. Like, let's say I'm down one day and I put something on that I really like and I'm laughing and I'm watching, I'm eating my like ice cream or whatever, I get something to cheer me up. Like, something like that can, like, even though it's small, it's not like the biggest happiness in the world, but it can,
you're right,
bring joy.
I can eat this right now. Dang, I like this. I love this food. And then as soon as I'm like, God, did you guys try tres leches? Girl, tres leches? Oh, you should just see how your eyes lit up. When I was like, I've been watching Outer Banks. So watch it. When you was like, oh my God, Outer Banks, I'm like, yeah, that's a good feat. Like, he know good shows. It's like, you can have an idea of something being great, exceptional, right? Like, I like it. Like, okay, this is good. This is great. But it's the feedback that's gonna define true happiness.
And so I'm not disagreeing.
I'm not saying you're disagreeing.
Like, yeah, I'm not disagreeing that at that point and in that conversation, I'm happy. But what I'm saying is the happiness that happened before when I was in the room by myself, it's that also existed.
Oh no, yeah,
I'm saying I'm not saying that also a happiness.
No, it is a happiness. You can talk about it. But that is a happiness. Like I can be like, oh my god, like this game is so fun. Like I can't wait to share with all my friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't wait to expand this like joy. I can wait to like, you know what I'm saying?
But then that game still brought you happiness as you were playing it before you even got, and then when you expand it and then you get that feedback, you get also happiness from that. But like the experience that you got during,
is, I don't really see it that way.
Or like when
because
you
I get what you're saying.
Watch Naruto, for example, like you don't feel like
Naruto wouldn't be as enjoyable if other people didn't also agree to like, hey yo, this is an enjoyable show.
But before you got them to watch it, if it was just by yourself, like that. I agree with when you shared with them, it brings you happiness. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying, but when you were watching it by yourself, it gave you a good feeling, right?
Yeah, I was like, this is a good show. Yeah.
And be like,
I liked it.
Yeah. So I feel like for me, and that's the aspect of like happiness, you can find things that make you happy. And then also sharing things with loved ones also makes you happier or brings you a stronger emotion of happiness.
Yeah, I think, I mean, on a surface level, I understand what you're saying. Like, because to me, that's like so like surface level. And then it's not a diss at all. Like, me, like, because to me, when you say happiness, I wasn't talking about like, to me, it's like PG-13. I'm like, I like this. Or like, I was talking about, I was defining happiness in terms of, yeah, like I was defining happiness in terms of like real life like situations, like what really make people happy. Like, yes, this can make you happy, a video game can make you happy and all of that. Like, I'm talking about like true happiness to me is like, I'm talking about as a grown up. I'm not saying kids can be happy, but they still haven't experienced like a true like life yet. And when you become an adult, things start changing. Right? You don't care about video game as much. It's like something you do as just a hobby. But it's more of like the feedback from other people and how you treat other people, how you being treated. Right? It's like an energy that's being reciprocated, but only positive energy. That's what I define as true happiness. Like, do I do things personally for myself? Yes, but it's also to put me in a position where I can be happy with others. That's how I look at it. Like if I go to the gym and work out, like it's my body, right? It's my choice, right? It's crazy, my body, my choice. Right, so I go and work out and get my stuff in good shape, and like I'm like, wow, I like this for myself. Like, okay, like I have created a description for me that I think outside of here that people also like.
Okay.
So like I'm like, okay, I'm ripped and this and that. I put this on. Like I don't have to tell nobody. Like I go outside, like somebody walk past, like sometimes you can kind of say, okay, they like that description. They're like, oh, how you look? He must be working out. Or somebody, or they might not even give you a compliment. They'll look. It's like it's so many ways you can like detect things that can make you happy. So to me, when you're not on a PG level, but as a grown up, happiness to me is like an interchangeable or interchange feeling, a mutual feeling between two people, right? And also outsiders could also bring you happiness, but it's whatever you have in mind or whatever you're creating within your bubble, it's in your mind it's an idea or something that you're doing, that you're creating, that you know that if I put this piece of work out there, I'm gonna get positive feedback, whether it's being shared or not. Therefore, I'm happy. Because I don't even have to get the people feedback, but I know they're gonna like this. Like that's a fact. You know they're gonna like this. When I saw Outer Banks, I knew you gonna like it. When I said 100, I knew you gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to tell me you like that. I know, because every day you was watching it, I already knew you was like. You know what I'm saying? Just that's
so
how I
you
look at it.
think about me when you watch shows?
No, I send it to Mo too. Like you know,
when he puts on the show, he's like, So's gonna love this.
But I think we dwelled too long on that one. We need to move on to the next topic.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, well, the second part of that is, did you find it?
Yeah, like I mean, my surrounding is my family and my friends, and I have a good relationship with my brother, my friend, you, everybody that is part of my life. So therefore, that make me happy.
Nice. Okay. What other question do you have?
So I have this is gonna be a little controversial, but I think I should.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm going to eat my tres.
So I'm gonna play the clip of what happened because Tantirugi actually said that she agreed with her and I disagree. So I'm gonna play the clip.
I said because it's your type, it's your preference. So let's say you date a light-skinned girl because it's your type, right? It's your type. I don't really believe in that type of when it comes to skin tone. I think it's something that you learn. And I said because it's your type, it's your preference, although I think it's learned. What happens when you marry this woman and she gives you a child and it's a girl and the girl comes out looking like you? How will you instill confidence in this dark-skinned girl?
Right.
And if you have a type that's only light and you cannot date a dark, isn't that saying something about how you see yourself when you look at yourself, not finding it attractive? If you have a type, let it be kind, okay, yes. Nice smile, whatever, but specific down to skin tone, and it has to be on the fairer side. You need to unfuck your brain. I'm sorry. You need to figure that out. So let's say you date.
So what do you think about that?
I was not expecting her to say that last sentence.
The last sentence, yeah, that's like she's angry. But
yeah. Okay. I have several thoughts on this. It's good, right?
Feedback.
I have several thoughts on this. All right. So the first thing that I would say is anyone is allowed to have a type. Whatever your type is, have your type. Everyone is allowed to like something and not like something. Like, I feel like we live in this generation that, oh my goodness, you're not allowed to like something. Otherwise, it's unfair to the other things that you didn't say that you like. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're starting to really we're starting to really take people's opinions away and even their preference away of, you have no right to feel this way because I feel excluded. Like, no, people can feel however they feel. People can have a type, whatever their type is. I do understand what she's trying to say. She's trying to basically say, because the beauty standard over the years have been like a European standard of beauty, therefore, fairer skin, lighter skin is closer to like what's beautiful. This is as a result of, slavery, as a result of colonization. And we've talked about this before. This happens all over the world. It happens in Asia. You see the Korean commercials, bleaching commercials and stuff like that. Like, the lighter, like more pale you are, the better, the more beautiful. Darker you are, the more it's like, oh, you must be like, farmer or lesser than or whatever. We see it in India. We see it in South America. We see it like all over, right? And it's not 100, like, if there's a place where you live and you're from and you're like, yo, no, you know what? It's actually the opposite. That's great. I'm not saying it's 100% everywhere, but I'm saying, like, in a grand scheme of things, I feel like that's what most people would agree on. And then even in the Caribbean and stuff, like, that's why bleaching creams and things like that, like on the continent and whatnot, like is a major issue. So I do feel like I get what she's saying. The standard of beauty is like European standard, or that's what it has been with colorism. And she's trying to say that, and I feel like there was an era when people were like more what's beautiful was more, oh, you're light skinned. Like, we saw it on TV, the TV shows. The more ratchet person was like the darkest skinned girl, right? She was ratchet, she was ugly, she was like the friend. The more love subject was the lighter skinned girl. So I get what she's saying in that, like, she feels like sometimes guys may say, especially black men may say, like, oh, I want a girl who's, light skinned with this and that, etc. And it may come from all of this kind of like psychological thing. And she might feel like it's kind of like an output of colorism. And there's also been like dark skinned guys that have made fun of dark skinned girls. Like there have been people that have like just criticized certain things like that. So I get what she's saying, and she's frustrated. But I do think you have the, like, you can like whatever you want to like, it is what it is. So
yeah, I mean, I understand what you were saying, what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what she was trying to say, even though I know what she was trying to say, but I still don't know what she was trying to say.
What I said?
No, like, because to me it's like why you so like on a attack, like, you feel me? And my question is, and I could be wrong, but my question is here: if she was light skinned, you think she would be saying the same thing? Possibly.
Probably not.
Possibly, right? Maybe, or maybe
Probably not.
Probably not, right? Because like it's always this beef between light skinned chick between light skinned chick and dark skinned chick. To me, which it doesn't, I'm not gonna say it doesn't make sense to me because I'm not in either one of their shoes, right? Like a light skinned, for example, a light skinned guy, they would say that they're soft or whatever, and it's like a time and like there's always like a time and moment for like the color thing. Like sometimes like, oh, dark skinned guys are up right now, or like right now it's a light skinned guys era or light skinned girls era, whatever. Like we can say that some people actually like light skinned girl because they just, that's what they like. Mm-hmm. That's their preference. And there's others also that
why
they like, okay, let me get to it. Okay. I mean, it's like everybody got a type. She's saying like a type. She said a type is like I think she said like kind and stuff like that. Like, bro, like that's just,
everyone should be kind.
Everybody should be kind. Like, what the way? Oh, you're my type because you're horrible. You're disrespectful. Like, what? What is that? Like, anyway, I don't even understand it. But there's some people that like light skin because they just simply like light skin because that's their preference. That's what they're attracted to. And there's some people that probably also that look down on like dark skin girl, and then they like light skin because they feel like if you're lighter, you're on the upper echelon of like, when it comes to like black
social
girls,
status and stuff.
right? Yeah, social status in the bracket of like for black girls, right? So you're saying that there's something wrong with you if you end up having a daughter that end up being your skin tone. Like, what did she say? If she end up being dark skin, what would you tell her when it comes to like dealing with men that don't like?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, you're going so far. That is so far fetched. That doesn't make any sense. Like, if there's, for example, let's say, like, it was I was in a dark skin, like my girl was dark skin, and then my daughter come out and end up being dark skin, and a guy say, yo, I don't like you because you're dark skin. She come to me, yo, dad, guys saying that I'm dark skin, like, hey, I'm gonna tell her, look here, baby girl, this is life. Some people might not like you because simply they're not attracted to you. They just like lighter skin girl for whatever reason it may be. You go find yours and find who likes you. That right there doesn't even make any sense. Like, you're just...
Oh, I don't think that's what she meant in the example you just gave. Because in the example you gave, the wife is dark skin and the daughter is dark skin.
I thought he was saying like if you end up marrying that light skin and the daughter come out dark skin. Because
yeah. Oh, you said dark skin. You said the wife is dark. Okay.
No, the daughter is dark skin. Like, if I'm dark skin, my wife is light skin, and then my daughter ended up coming out dark skin. Okay. The fact that I took her light skin, and my daughter came out my skin, because I think she also trying to reference that, like trying to say that you don't like your own skin.
Yeah. In that example, she's talking to the latter of what you said. You said there could be two different scenarios. There's some people that they just like it because they prefer it.
Correct.
There are other people because they feel like, you know what, nah, I want a light skinned girl because of this, that, and the dark skinned girl, I don't want her.
Yeah.
She don't like.
Correct.
I think in that example, she's talking about that second person.
That's an example. I give two different scenarios. She gave one scenario.
Yeah, she's bucketing it all,
which is wrong. Which is wrong because I hate when people say, I understand what she was trying to say. No, elaborate. You're on a podcast. Elaborate, because now you're offending people.
Like what she said. I didn't watch the whole podcast.
I didn't watch the whole podcast. Just the video. I'm just saying you on a talking show. You can elaborate what you're saying. I mean that's a clip. That's cut. Maybe she did when and elaborate. But as far as what we
gave a personal experience.
Yeah. What is a person? I tell people your personal experience doesn't mean that's the world. I always say that, but again, the daughter thing we're past. I'm just gonna be like, yo, find your person. Now let's get to the nitty gritty of it. Like I even told you, like when I came to the state, they was like, yo, you black as hell. I was like, what does that mean? Like I'm black, you're black. No, there was a difference between you being super dark and, brown and light skin. Great. If I'm dark, if I'm black as the TV screen, right? I'm just saying. I have homies that's dark as hell. I'm like, dang, you black as hell. You black. Like, okay, you're really black. But does that mean I hate you because you're dark? No. Right? And it can be a person that's like light or whatever. And I can be like, yo, I like light skin over dark skin just because that's what I'm attracted to. Like, I guess you're trying to say you can't be attracted to skin color.
No, yeah. I think what she's trying to say is
not attracted to skin color, like a skin color, like if you have a skin color
hue.
that's your type.
Yeah.
Then that's like something wrong with you.
I think she's saying, like, I think her main point is that second scenario that you gave, right? Her main point is that's how, like, that's where it stems from. What she believes is when people say, I don't like dark-skinned girls, I like light-skinned girls, she believes that that's what they mean because it stems from that second scenario that you're giving. Like, I think that's what she's saying, like, oh, it stems from because... Like that's wrong to say, and I think that's what she's basing everything off of.
It's wrong to say that
because of the second scenario you gave.
No, I get it, but I'm saying it again. She didn't give a second scenario. She just
she didn't. I'm just saying your second scenario is what she thinks the whole thing is. That's
what I'm arguing.
Yeah.
So my whole point is like if you can like somebody because they're light skinned, you can like somebody because they're dark skinned, right? And there's other scumbags that. Let me not just say scumbags because sometimes you don't know people's experience. And they probably grew up in a way where they think like, yo, I'm used to like brighter people, or I feel like if you're white, I feel like when you're white or you're lighter, like you are better than dark skinned girl or whatever the case may be. That definitely happens.
And just subconsciously, like
subconscious. That's what I'm saying.
And like how many times? Oh, she's so beautiful. She's light skinned. Like just people say it. It comes out of their mouth. Like, oh, I Benny. Like it comes out of their mouth subconsciously.
I have a question.
Elle est jolie, claire. Like,
okay,
when it comes to women, right? Not even men, women. Like a lot of times, that's how people don't even think about it.
Okay, let's get into this. So, okay, so what if like that light skinned person actually, they just look better.
Yeah, that could be the case too, but like
I understand what you're saying.
That being part of the description of
I understand what you're saying because people look at it as soon as you say that they're on the attack of like this is what it is. Like I can literally say, yo, like she's so light, she's light skinned, she's beautiful, like her skin complexion and the way her facial structure match well together. Sometimes sometimes you can be dark skinned, right, and ugly. Sometimes you can be light skinned and ugly. Let me be fair here. And also sometimes people are like, yo, you look good for a dark skinned chick. Disrespectful.
Yeah, very.
Sometimes some people can be ugly. They're light skinned, but because of their light skin, they can kind of pass a little bit. No, I'm saying this what people like. People are like, oh my gosh, she light skinned. And then you hear people say, if she wasn't light skinned, she would be ugly. Right? Okay. Now, to be fair, the dark skinned girls to me, like, have been bashed way more than the light skinned girls. Like, I could be like, that's my experience. Somebody could say different. I'm not gonna disagree with it. But I hear more bashing of like dark skinned chick than light skinned chick. Even in the music video, we normally usually see like light skinned chicks in the music videos.
Yeah.
Than dark skinned chick. Now, it's some light skinned chick, bro. I'm like, yo, if she was dark skinned, she wouldn't look this crazy. Cause sometimes when you ugly and you light skinned, your ugliness come out.
What do you mean your ugliness comes out?
Like, how like if somebody's ugly, you put the flashlight in their face, you like, oh damn. He was in the dark. I couldn't really see him, or she was in the dark.
Oh my God,
No, I'm just being serious. So when they being light skinned, I can clearly see your ugliness.
No,
that's a fact. It's so many like different form and shape.
I think based on history of the world, to what you just said, you feel like more people have bashed dark skin girls, it's because of history in the world. It's like saying like, oh, why are black people where they are today in today's society? Because of history. Why are dark skin, like colorism, why does colorism exist? Because of history. So it's not like it's a known fact. It's a historical thing, right? Paper bag test. It's a historical thing. So
okay,
I think that but the description thing that I was saying of like when people say it, like, you know, inherently, it's like, oh my goodness, this guy, he is so handsome. He's white, you know, his skin is so fair. He's so like, it's one of those like.
But no, so they probably could be just attracted to that.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
My point is anyone could be attracted to anyone. That's not my problem. Okay. I'm just explaining what she's saying and probably why she's saying it that way. Like she's feeling like.
But she said, let's make sure we mention it. She said she don't believe in type.
Which I disagree.
No, you
with.
did. Yeah, you did. You know, talked about that.
Yeah.
To me, once she said that, the rest go out the window. Like even the rest doesn't make sense. The daughter example doesn't make sense.
To me, it makes sense. I explained it to you. It makes sense. If it's the person, in your second scenario.
No, but I'm saying you're saying that. I'm talking about exactly what came out of her mouth, not what we think she said.
She believes if you say that you like light skinned person, it's as a result of colorism, and it's as a result of I think that light skin is better than dark skin. Yeah. So therefore, if you get married to a light skin and you have a dark skinned child,
I understand.
How are you gonna? So it makes sense.
So no, it doesn't make any sense to me. To me, like you're going to the You can say things to make it make sense, but I'm saying the way she explained it, she said she doesn't believe in types. Mm-hmm. And then we're trying to say that she's talking about people that say that they don't like dark skin girls, they don't like light skin girls because of the second scenario I gave, which is like subconsciously they feel like if you're on the lighter side, you're better than the people that are darker. Mm-hmm. I'm saying she said there's no type, that there's no type when it comes to skin. Mm-hmm. If you have a type when it comes to skin, then you fall in the category of those people that believe that people with lighter skin are better than dark people that are darker, mm-hmm. which I completely disagree with. That's why her whole, argument to me doesn't make any sense. Now, what you're saying to me is a different scenario. You're inserting that in there mm-hmm. to say that she's saying this. Mm-hmm. This is like you doing like PR work. That's like you coming in and cleaning up the stuff she said. That's not what she said. There's no type when it comes to skin complexion, that's ridiculous. That was the beginning of her statement.
PR work.
That is crazy.
All I'm doing is trying to understand what it is where she's coming from outside of the short 60-second clip that we saw. I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt in the sense of like,
correct.
I don't agree with this part, but this other part, like, here's where that can come from. Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
But that's how you stir up, like, even in that little clip right there, that's how you stir up like a lot of issues that's already been there, like it's already brewing. Because like, do you feel like there's some dark skinned girls that just hate on light skin because they're light skinned?
I don't know any. Probably.
No, I'm not saying do you know them personally, but I'm just saying like, can you like think of like, do you think
probably yeah.
Okay, like and if we ask those women, do you think they're gonna say, we don't like them because we're jealous of the fact that they're light skinned and they get all the attention? Or this is an example, I'm not saying this will happen because they get all the attention from the guys, or because like, like I'm just jealous of you because you just light and I wish I was light too.
Probably all of the above is how they feel.
It's just good. That's what I'm saying. Like it can go left, right, this and that. But again, through my experience, predominantly, I would hear like, dark skinned girls getting bashed way more than I see light skinned girls getting bashed.
And I think she's coming from a point of frustration, and she's coming from a point of being in a civilization where colorism is huge. Maybe growing up, people were just like very black men were making fun of her hair type, making fun of like what makes her a dark skinned girl, even though they're dark, even though they have moms and dads who are dark. And maybe that's where it comes from. I'm just kind of giving like, a benefit of like the doubt of people's experiences. Sometimes based on their experiences, they they feel very strongly about certain things.
And
you know?
which is dangerous, because I always say, like, be careful when you're talking about your experience, because it might not be everybody's experience, and not only that, might not apply to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
And honestly, this may be something that she says now, and like 20 years down the line is like, you know what? It is fine to have a preference, but just don't make your preference based, or try to be conscious and try not to make your preference based on a false narrative of colorism, or a false narrative of, you know, what historically has been passed down generation to generation in terms of the beauty standard, like, you know. So
yeah, like I you know, I mean, anyway, to me, like, she was just staring up. She thought she was really doing it. Like, that is, you need to go unfuck your brain. Like, come on, son. Like, you really bugging. Like, what are you, like, to me, it's just like, relax. Like, if a guy rejected you because he wanted a light-skinned girl, I'm not saying her, it's like, okay, so what? Like, because you telling me there's, like, with a counter skin, there's no type. But I'm pretty sure when you're looking for a guy if she's looking for a guy that she want, you're not about to be like, he's kind. I'm not. Those are part of, like, liking a person. But obviously, she definitely has a type. Like, if I bring a fat person right now that's obese and barely can walk, are you gonna be like, oh, that's my type, he's kind? So my thing is, there's no such thing as a type when it comes to weight sizes. I can say something like that too.
yeah,
It's like, it doesn't make any sense. She thought she was saying something, bro. She needs to
that
go.
part
with
we agree.
She go, and if you go in the comments, a lot of people are disagreeing with her.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. That's that.
Sounds good. Let's wrap it up for today.
Yeah, that's that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know what brings you happiness. Okay, I want to know what it is that
What's the true
brings you
definition?
happiness, and do you have it? Do you feel like you have it? You know.
Yep.
And also let us know what you think on that video or in that audio that we just played. So
two things: what bring you happiness? What's the true definition of happiness? Again, I say happiness is positive feedback, you know, from others and people and your loved ones. And the second video, as you can see, let us know the beef between light skin chicks and dark skin chicks. Right? And let us know your experience, and let us know if you agree or disagree with what she said. And don't forget, when it comes to skin tone and skin complexion, there's no such thing as type. When it comes to waist sizes, there's no such thing as type. When it comes to height, there's no such thing as type. When it comes to pocket money, there's no such thing as type. Come on. We're going to wrap it up.
Tell them what today is.
Today is Sunday probably now. Come on. Today is Sunday. Come on.
What is today?
Today is Sunday.
Okay. There's nothing special about today.
Yeah, we had a great conversation. We had some special conversation. It was a good conversation. Oh, wrap it up. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification button. And, you know, Unveiled Mindset, we never, you know, fail to do what we need to do and do our job. And happy anniversary to us. You know, this is year 1 since we got married in November. But yeah, let's wrap it up. We out. Peace.
So much evil in this world, I sit back like, why bother? But get a different view every time that I call dollar. It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always speaking facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. Then the crime raises. It's something they never gonna get that, but it's cool, let's sit back, let's chit chat. Unveiled mindset.